Joining us for more on Harvey Vengroff is Valerie Guillory, Executive Director of Trinity Without Borders, Gabriela Rodriguez. She lives and works at Robbins Apartments, and Travis Vengroff, Harvey's son. And welcome to all of you.
Thank you.
Hey, Travis, let me start with you. What motivates your dad?
I guess a while back, we had a bunch of employees who were working for our collection agency, Vengroff Williams. We have a call center in town, and they were having a difficult time finding somewhere to live. We had people commuting as far northeast as an hour and a half, like almost Orlando, and a lot of people who still regularly have to commute from Northport to get to work just because they want to find a place where they can have a house. So our goal is really to find a place that our employees could work and live, nearby from where they work.
And that really is the story of Sarasota, is it not? This is one of the most affluent communities in the country, but it is very difficult for people who are middle income, let alone trying to get back on their feet, to find some place to live. Isn't that true?
Alan, just to speak on what Travis was saying, I think that one of the other things that has motivated Harvey was the social services agencies actually asking him to step in, as well as public officials asked him to step in and help with the housing situation. As you might know, he and his wife had been headed for retirement and almost literally turned that sailboat around and came back and asked what could they do to help with housing in our area. And not just not just assisting with the housing, but by providing the housing that jump-started the agencies and the public officials to really start buying into, hey, how do we solve this problem with private enterprise? So, Harvey has really started an amazing event where you see the agencies, you see the public officials, and you see businesses partnering to try to help with the problem.
But, there's been so much frustration in both Sarasota and Manatee counties about the lack of affordable housing and the inability of local government to actually step up to the task and assist, or at least create an environment where this could happen. And even just a couple of weeks ago, it seems that your dad was in a situation where he wanted to do something in Sarasota, and he wound up leaving a city council commission meeting angry. The Manatee folks, it appears, or welcome what he does, but he has gotten some pushback, or at least not the help that he wanted to get.
There's been a lot of pushback. I can't be understated, I guess. We keep getting hit with, trying to think of the word to use. We've been given a lot more difficulties in permitting and trying to convert one of the apartments at 4900 Tamiami. It's called Oak Ridge.
Right.
They've given us no shortage of hassle. They said, oh, the glass that it's been here forever isn't fireproof, so you have to change out all the windows with fireproof glass. Oh, your pool, well, the survey says it's moved by a few feet. And we're pretty sure it hasn't moved in the last 50 years. The pool's been here, and they wanted us to pay for another survey to verify that the pool hadn't moved.
And they wanted inspections at a rate that was quite unusual.
Yeah, and every step of the way has been an uphill battle trying to do something decent. And we have people who live across the street in sort of the more affluent side on the bay who thought it was going to be a problem when we took over the hotel, and they were a little iffy on it. Then when they saw what we did, they've been really happy with it, and they've continued. There's a cafe in the front, the Sunnyside Cafe, and they eat there, and they see the property and they see what it's become, and they're pretty happy. And even the police have stopped by on a number of occasions and told us thank you for cleaning this place up. It really wasn't a nice place to be prior to our occupation.
Hey, Gabriela, let me get you into the conversation, because this is not only where you work now, but your life would be in a different place if it not for this opportunity.
Yes, it has changed my life in a lot of ways. Trinity's Without Borders, I describe it in my own words as there's nothing that can stop you from becoming who you want to be in life. From having a job, from getting your family back, from getting out of the drugs, getting out of the streets. I describe it in my own words. That's what it means to me. I got out from a halfway house, and I never thought that I was going to have a place to stay after I got out of there. I was struggling myself. I was like, wow, I lost my family, I lost my kids, so now I see myself basically in the streets. I went to Valerie, And I was upfront with her, you know. I told her, hey, listen, you know, my background is like this, like this, like this. And she was like, well, there's anything else I have to know about you? Because if I go to your background, there's something you're not telling me, you know, we're not on the same page. So I told her everything, you know. I wanted to cry in that moment because it was difficult for me to get an apartment, to get a job, even to have friends or family.
Right, and we did a series of stories back in May showing the difficulty in finding affordable housing in both Sarasota and Manatee counties. And Valerie, we still haven't gotten local government to step up. What do you see in terms of the landscape here, in terms of both counties making this a little bit easier? I mean, it just can't be one man and one company that is doing this.
You know, I see it happening without local government one way or the other. The need is so strong that it's happening either way. But let me tell you, when Gabriella was at the desk trying to get a place to live, I took her hand and I said, you know, you're the kind of person this place was created for. And within 2 or 3 weeks, she's up and running and on her feet, the person she's with, working and living productive lives. But I want to say this also. Harvey has, you know, I'm able to provide a second chance for people. Harvey has provided a second chance for my organization to be able to reach out to people like Gabrielle. He's given us the opportunity to learn how to manage properties, and by another property that we were given, you know, we were given the Cabana Inn a year ago. So we learned how to do that in a very basic way there. And through this time, Harvey has had his team helping us to do the infrastructure there and to understand management there, and preparing us as an organization to become self-sustainable by, you know, preparing us for the last year and then actually letting us have site control of this property and be able to operate it.
Travis, tell us what folks don't know about your dad. Obviously, he owns a collection business down here, but you're originally from New York. How did he make his money? And even before he arrived on the Suncoast, was he involved in this kind of effort to help those who need the kind of help that he would later provide?
Sure. As a family, my dad made our money in collections, the collections industry. And I guess we needed somewhere to put it, somewhere to invest it, and real estate seemed like an interesting idea he'd heard of when he was in his 20s. And the area of real estate that he really looked at that seemed like the biggest opportunity, one that other people wouldn't look at, one that people wouldn't talk to, is the affordable or economic workforce housing sector. When you've got people who have nowhere else to go, if the market goes absolutely down the drain at the end of the year, or, you know, whenever, there will still be a need for these places. There's still a need for safe, clean, affordable apartments.
So make no mistake, and we're running out of time, your dad is still making money on this, but
Yeah.
he is not, like many other companies, unfortunately, trying to gouge the people who are looking for a place to live.
Absolutely. We had an offer on one of our apartment complexes that would have easily tripled the rent if we'd said, yes, here's the property, enjoy. And it would have put a bunch of nurses who are at Sarasota Memorial and living across the street, they would have had nowhere to go.
All right, we have to leave it there. Valerie, Travis, Gabriella, thanks for being here tonight.